Lego Austin. Or should I say, Lego Austin 2! Now, enjoy the video. Hello Lego Star Wars and Power Brick Sets fans. I'm Austin Reed, and today I'm going to be revealing my first ever Power Brick Lego Star Wars set, which is the Death Star 2 throne room, and an A-wing as well, plus a turret. This set is basically one of the greatest Power Brick sets out there, because of the fact that you can actually battle each other with these sticks, so you can have the characters fight with their lightsabers. And right back there in the corner, it features Palpatine and his guards in this throne room, plus his chair. And right over there, there is a small A-wing with this little red dot right there for no reason. That's a little sus. Plus, there's also a turret. However, the only way to power all these are none other than the power bricks themselves. This set came with 2 of these power bricks here. And it comes with a charger and a charging device. I'm going to show you what it does. So, as you may know, these power bricks are basically a new generation for Lego play. Well, for children and maybe adults, I guess. I'm going to show you the minifigures real quick. So, first up right here is the Return of the Jedi version of Luke Skywalker. As you can clearly see here, this isn't really the original version of the minifigure, because of the fact it has like a backprint of wherever the sound effect is. But what it can do is have the power brick interact. Watch. And when it does these sounds... Hold on. It apparently doesn't really talk English at all. It just makes a little gibberish. You see what I mean? Anyways, as you get the sets, the legs and torso aren't really separate like regular figures. They're actually all one piece. This is basically the same exact Luke Skywalker from the Death Star in 2025, worth $1,000, which is one of my other videos I have in my channel. And yeah. Next up, we have his father, Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, as we all know. However, there is a problem with these capes that they're wearing. This Darth Vader minifigure looks pretty much the same like in 2023 because of the new face, ever since that TIE Bomber set. And, yeah. The only difference with this figure, this is also a power brick minifigure. See, it's got like the letters and the numbers, as well as a recyclable trash can on the other side. Plus the same back print as his son, the sound effects and everything. But I'm going to show you what sound effects does he make with the power brick. It can be hard sometimes because of the cape. He does a little breathing, but not in the way in the actual Star Wars universe. I really feel like this Darth Vader minifigure could have made like actual quotes like, "Luke, I am your father." The sound of the breathing is almost very familiar to Darth Vader's actual breathing, like we all know, but this is a lot different. Yeah. Plus, the capes that they're wearing are extremely short, which is completely stupid. It almost reminds me of that Lego Star Wars short, where Darth Vader had his cape in half and He was like, stupid cape, and he cut his cape in half with his lightsaber, and he escaped with the holocrons. Which brings back this reference right here. However, I can manage to fix that. Our third minifigure in the set is basically the most evil character in the Star Wars universe himself, Emperor Sheev Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious. And for some reason here, this is basically the same Palpatine from the 2023 Death Star throne room, the 75352. That's basically the set number. And he also appeared again in the official 2025 $1,000 Death Star, which I also have. Like I said, I have a video about the Death Star on my channel. The link is in the description, by the way. And also, this Palpatine minifigure, like Darth Vader, he has a short cape, which is still ridiculous considering that this Palpatine still should have a regular cape and not a short one. But with the power brick, he can make weird noises like, you see what I mean? Oh, Bajak. You see what I mean? No English quotes. Yeah, like, oh, Bajak. A little off. Oops. But anyways, I feel like they could have added in quotes like, fulfill your destiny. Unlimited power! You underestimate the power of the dark side. See? Those kind of quotes. But I don't know why they didn't. As for the rest of the minifigures, the rest of the minifigures in this set are regular minifigures. Here's one of Palpatine's royal guards. There's basically 2 of them in this set. I mean, there's always 2 of them. And they clearly have the same exact royal guard helmet from their first ever minifigure appearance. And LEGO somehow still uses this helmet piece to this day. But eventually, this is basically the exact same royal guard from the 2025 Death Star because of the torso. However, here is the problem here. Like I said with Darth Vader and Palpatine, their capes are really short. Which is, like I said, it's stupid. Why would these guards ever need short capes when they can have the long capes? And then our final minifigure in this set is this A-Wing pilot. By the way, this guy is the exact same A-Wing pilot who sacrificed himself to crash his A-Wing to that Super Star Destroyer, the Executor. Or actually, the Executor. There you go. The Executor ship. Which ultimately crashed into the second Death Star at the end. So yeah. His A-Wing is behind him, and as you can see, he wears a green pilot suit with an incredible helmet that is actually familiar. And as for the face prints, this is obviously a new face print. He has a smile face and a mad face, but this isn't the only character who ever features this face print. The 2022 Batman, that was released in 2026, which is this year, also has this face print, but that would be like in a different video. Now here's Darth Vader and Palpatine and the Royal Guards with their original capes, like they really should have. And the power brick somehow still works on them. See what I mean? They're still operational, even with those large capes. I feel like LEGO is somehow out of their minds on there. See? They clearly still work, even with the original capes they're wearing. Yep. They work every time. As for the short capes, which are ridiculous by the way, I got triple the amount of these capes, like 3 packs of these short capes, which clearly they could have been for kids or something. Like, if I have, like, minifigures with short legs, those capes right here would be edible for them. And as for the capes they're wearing right now, those could have been very more edible to the sets instead of the short capes. I mean, what's up with Lego and that? They clearly still work. They still work. I mean, yeah. I'm honestly glad that I gave them their original capes. And I'm gonna keep them like this every time now. For the first build in the set is basically the dueling section right here, like in front of the throne room. Well, originally in the movie, the throne room is most likely an elevator in the center of the entire tower room, and there's no massive base here. Well, in the set, there's a flat base for these guys to actually fight. And you can actually use these sticks to actually make them fight. The best part is you can actually place the power bricks on both of these guys. And you can actually make them make sound effects like lightsaber sound effects. And actually have them fight each other. Well, I can't exactly do that right now because I have my camera in one hand and my stick on the other. So, if you guys want me to do that in another video, I guess, let me know in the comments. The next section right here is basically the throne room itself. And this is basically a very short throne room build. There are basically many different versions of Palpatine's Death Star throne room over the years. This year's Death Star throne room, however, is a lot smaller and it still has like incredible build techniques. But it also features a spot for the chair to have the power brick do all kinds of stuff. Very epic, right? It plays the Imperial March, and it can also have the sound effect of swooshing the chair around. Isn't that incredible? Plus, as I turn this thing around, this is like a new spinny thing, by the way. On the back, there isn't really much on the back, except one part. Palpatine's own Sith lightsaber. Lego apparently decided to add Palpatine's lightsaber for the fact that he could maybe fight Luke or Vader. Like it probably didn't happen in the movie, but he never used this lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, but Lego decided to add that fun fact. But that's very cool, by the way. As for these electric lights here, they're a little too easy to build. Unlike the previous ones, I think the best version of the throne room has to be the 2023 version, where it has the iconic Palpatine chair, which is incredibly designed and everything. The Death Star 2, the $1,000 Death Star version is basically a close second, despite the fact that it looks almost exactly the same, as Palpatine predicted. That's the same Lego set from a couple of years ago. But yeah, I agree with him. And this is the third time that it's almost the same Lego set. This version of the chair, however, isn't really as good as the 2023 version, like I said in my last video on the Death Star 1. Yeah. But at least the power brick gives it sound effects. You could obviously have anyone sit on this chair, other than Palpatine himself. But let's move on to the next build. Now the third build in the set is this Imperial turret. Unlike the other turrets we see in the Star Wars universe, this turret actually lets you to make sound effects with the help of this power brick. Watch and learn. As you crank this, you can actually make the gun move and make shooting sounds. However, the sound effect of the shooting isn't really as good. I know it seems like I'm struggling to crank this because it keeps moving around. What does everyone think? Plus, the thing itself can actually turn around or something. Okay, I'm gonna remove this break before any more sound effects keep booming. And then the final build in this entire set is the A-Wing itself. However, this is a completely small A-Wing, and to be honest, the back of the A-Wing is clearly not all that great. I mean, especially with that red dot right there. I mean, a lot of fans are literally complaining about this red dot appearing for no reason. The smaller version of this A-Wing seems a little slicked. There are no stud shooters or anything. But as you fly with it, it actually makes flying sound effects. And then it makes shooting sound effects as well. It has a sound effect where it actually crashes. I know it's hard to see the A-Wing because of my camera. Freaking amazing, huh? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is basically the entire set. Thanks to these power bricks from my first power brick video. If you haven't watched it already, there's the link in the description below. Same with the Death Star video I have. But anyways, I somehow managed to fix the set with adding the original capes instead of using these ridiculous short capes that are meant for the smaller minifigures and not for these main guys. And yeah. Well, this is basically my first ever power brick set. There's basically 2 more to collect. Darth Vader's Titan Fence, and as well as an X-Wing, a Rebellion X-Wing. The other power brick sets, however, don't really feature these power bricks. If anything, you would most likely get 3 of these same chargers, but with some power bricks. And these power bricks are actually very rare and hard to come by this time around. I know these sets have been released on March 1st. They were a huge hit on March 1st. But that's all I can say about these epic power brick sets. I just added the cape problem here, which I definitely fixed. But anyways, that's all I can show you today. If you want me to review other sets in my channel, let me know in the comments below. It might take a long time for me to do so, like on my bed, which is what I'm at right now. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the future. And may the Force be with you, and long live the Empire. Unlimited power! Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos to come. Peace out, ciao!